So I was beginning to type my response to this in the comment section, but I just feel like it's probably better explained in a video. So in my experience, the only time someone yells is when they feel like there's nothing else they can do. Either they've reached the end of their rope, they don't know what else to do, they're frustrated with the situation. And in my opinion, if you are an adult yelling at a minor, that is not okay. I'm 23. I know, not that old. But I used to think that adults screaming at me was okay. It was commonplace. It just happened all the time. I grew up with a lot of coaches that literally just screamed and made us run constantly. And it's so funny because I grew up and I went to therapy and went through a lot of really traumatizing things and I had to work through them. And I would never dream of doing that to a child now. And this cycle of like, we're only really doing what coaches have done to us before, and like we only know how to control people the way that our coaches have controlled us in the past before. If you had a really negative, like exclusively negative coaches growing up, you're going to think that that is the only way that you can ever get better. I've met so many people, and I used to be one of them, that was like, oh, I can only yell if people, or like I can only play good if people are yelling at me. Only play if I'm pissed off. Only play if I'm angry. And that is such BS. It is because you have been conditioned to play better when someone's yelling at you because you're afraid of getting hurt, whether that be mentally or physically. As for running, I will say, one time I do tolerate running is when no one is listening. If it's just a rowdy day, no one's listening, I've said something like 8 times and no one's getting there, then we can run. But if someone's having a bad day, they already probably feel pretty bad about it. And me making them run is not going to help that situation. I would so much rather have a conversation with them about what's going on in their life. How are their parents doing? How's their family doing? How's life at home? How's school? Is school getting really overwhelming? Volleyball and in general sports do not consume an entirety of a person's life. And surprise, it's over after college usually. Anything that's competitive. So we need to be training people to be better humans as well as better volleyball players. If you walk out emotionally stunted and like living life trauma response to trauma response because of the way that I coach you, and then you play volleyball really well, that's a failure. That skill's not going to be useful moving forward. But what is useful is being able to unpack your feelings, have an open and honest communication with somebody, and really, advocate for yourself and your own health.